Hi everyone, welcome to next part of the video, collection and transport of clinical specimen. And here we are going to discuss about specimen collection from wounds, ear as well as conjunctiva. Okay. First of all, specimen collection from the abscesses and wounds. Abscess means it is a swollen area of a body tissue which contain pus. That is abscess. Here we are going to discuss about how the pus or specimen can be collected from the such abscess and wounds. Okay. If pus is present in large amount, they can be collected in a bottle. Otherwise, pus swab may be collected as a specimen for the diagnosis. But in case of some anaerobic as well as tubercle bacilli, pus swab is totally unsuitable for diagnosis as well as cultivation. Okay, and here while collecting the pus, we should maintain aseptic condition. That is, the skin over the abscess should be cleaned with the soap and water and not with any antiseptic. And this careful collection of pus avoid introducing commensals or normal flora from the area into the pus specimen, as these may be mistaken for pathogen. That is, to preventing the contamination with the commensals or normal flora to the pus, we should maintain the aseptic condition. Okay. Then besides this pus as well as pus swab, we can also collect a small piece of wall of the abscess as well as wounds for a diagnostic method. Okay. Okay, next is specimen collection from the ear as well as conjunctiva. Here, in case of otitis means it is an inflammation of ear. That is external ear infection, is known as otitis. In such cases, we can collect the material from the external ear by the help of a swab. So, a swab is possible to collect the material from the infectious ear. Okay. And the fluid from the internal ear can be collected by a needle through the eardrum. Okay. That is, fluid can be aspirated from an infected middle ear or internal ear by passing a needle through the eardrum. So here, in case of external ear infection, we can collect a swab. In case of internal ear infection, fluid can be aspirated from the middle ear. Okay. Then in case of eye infection, the material or specimen can be collected from the lid margin, that is eyelid margin, by rubbing with a pre-moistened swab. So here also we use swab for the collecting specimen from the conjunctiva or eye. And in case of eye infection, there is any pus containing discharge, swab may be used to collect the specimen. Okay. Next is sample transport. Here we have to study how the sample transport for the processing of specimen. That is, how much care should be provided while transporting the specimen for the diagnosis. Okay. Once the appropriate specimen collected, they are processed as speedily as possible to ensure that the organism do not die before being transferred to the culture media. That is, if the specimen collected, they should be processed as soon as possible to ensure their viability or to ensure their active site of that organism, that is pathogen present in the specimen, before inoculation into the culture media. Okay. And the laboratory sample should be always transported in safe leak proof containers. That is, while collecting the sample, we should ensure the safety of containers. Okay. And also select transport media according to the type of infection, that is type of pathogen present in the specimen. Clear? Then remaining points which tells about how each specimen transport after collection. That is, in case of sputum, which must be refrigerated or stored in a cooler with ice after collection and transport to the lab within 24 hours. Otherwise, which provide inaccurate result. Okay. In case of urine sample, which must be transported at room temperature within half an hour or refrigerated at 4 degrees Celsius up to 4 hours. Beyond this time, such a sample should not be processed for bacterial culture. That is, in case of urine, they must be transported within half an hour or refrigerated at 4 degree and transported within 4 hours. Otherwise, which give inaccurate result. Okay. Then, according to genital tract specimen, which require immediate transport as well as inoculation. Otherwise, the pathogen become inactive and give inaccurate result. Okay. And the transportation media used for the genital tract specimen is modified Starts media. Then, in case of gastrointestinal tract infection, fresh feces are ideal. That is, specimen of choice should be fresh feces. But if any delay for the processing of feces as a specimen, transportation media such as Gary Blair or Venkataraman Ramakrishnan media can be used. Okay. Then, for bacterial culture, the CSF should be transported at room temperature, but in case of viral isolation, the CSF must be transported on ice. And according to the specimen blood, which can be stored at 4 to 8 degrees Celsius for less than 24 hours before the serum is separated. That is, blood stored only for less than 24 hours. Otherwise, blood pathogen become inactive. So, it should be transported within 24 hours for a better result. Okay. Then, according to blood, which stored at this temperature, that is 4 to 8 degrees Celsius after the separation of serum. In order to separate the serum, we can use centrifugation method for 10 minutes. Okay. That is, blood must be centrifuged for 10 minutes for the separation of serum, then only stored at 4 to 8 degrees Celsius. Okay. That's all about sample transport. Thank you.